All right, so in the first video, we gave the first 4 steps to figuring out how to grocery shop and what to get. And I said that we would talk about budgeting. So now we're going to look at what a trip to the grocery store actually costs. All of the things you see right here, which are all kind of the carbs, vegetables, fruits, and such, there's some avocados in there, that all added up. We're looking at around $30. So if I do some more math here, I have 2 bunches of kale, an entire container of spinach, some peppers, some tomatoes, 6 containers of berries, a whole bunch of bananas, around 3 pounds of sweet potatoes, and some avocados in there. I'm going to be able to have enough vegetables and fruits and carbs for an entire week. So that's around 20 meals, $30. Next up, we have our protein. Let's look at that. How much money do you think was spent on this amount of protein? All of this meat comes out to around $48. Through this, I'll have 4 meals of salmon, 12 or more meals of chicken, 10 breakfasts with the eggs, 8 meals of turkey burgers, which are in the freezer that you can't see, and then extra bacon and turkey bacon to add to any meals. So if you do the math on that, it's a little over $1 a meal when it comes to the protein. Next up, I have the carbohydrates that are more complex or processed, and then my fats. With this, I would say for the fats, the amount of meals I get out of them doubles. So I would almost get 2 weeks worth of meals out of all these fats because they last longer in the fridge and I don't go through an entire tub of sour cream in 1 week. So you're looking at upwards of 40 meals or so for the fats. For the carbs, it's probably half that, around 20 or 25 meals. With the pasta there, that'll be 4 meals. The bread will be probably 2 weeks of meals. The corn tortillas will probably be about 4 to 5 servings of tacos, and then I'll probably have some left over. So for $48, I would say I'm looking at around 30 or so meals. So again, just over that dollar mark, maybe to that $1.50 mark per meal for all of those. The grand total for the shopping trip was $131. I eat mostly protein with my meals, or that's the largest macronutrient that I consume, so it makes sense that 36% of my bill was protein. Again, only about $1 per meal when I break it down. Fruits and veggies accounted for about 20% of my grocery bill, and those are a little more expensive per meal, which makes sense, especially when you choose organic or the fresher varieties. After that, my carbohydrates and my fats were 14% carbohydrates, in terms of my grocery bill. That makes sense. Carbs are cheap. They're easy to buy, especially the processed varieties. And then fat, 22% of my meal. Fats are more expensive. When you're buying dairy and avocados and pesto and things of that nature, it tends to be a little bit more expensive. So that was 22% of my bill. But they last longer. So in the long run, the fats are only probably going to cost me 80 cents a meal. So when we look at this, $4.36 a meal. This is a meal that is perfectly designed to fit my macronutrient or calorie ratio for the day. And you know everything that's in it. That means it's nutrient dense, it's foods that are wholesome, grown close to the ground, aren't being injected with weird chemicals and things like we get from a lot of fast food places. So you really can't beat $4.36 a meal. I'm talking 4 ounces of solid protein, a couple cups of vegetables, a full serving of sweet potatoes or oats or quinoa or bread. No fast food meal is going to compare to this. Not even if you get meals that are made by vendors that help you eat healthy. So at the end of the day, when you sit down and actually look at what I need to eat, what I like to eat, what my meal should look like, and work backwards from that, it's completely attainable. $130 for over 30 meals is affordable for anyone. You just have to know how to look, where to look, and have a plan when you enter the grocery store. All right, so let's dive into this grocery budgeting example a little deeper so that you can have applicable steps right away to make this happen come Sunday. If it's $100 a week is your grocery budget, let's just make it simple math here. And given what I talked about earlier, about 35% of my grocery bill is protein. And if I'm nutrition coaching anyone, I tend to recommend a higher amount of protein starting out, and again, depending on your activity levels. So let's just say that 35% of your bill should go to protein. So of 100, that's going to be $35 to $40. If chicken is $5 to $6 a pound, and there's 16 ounces in a pound, and you're supposed to eat 4 ounces each meal, like we talked about in the example, that means you get 4 servings of chicken for every pound of chicken. So if you have $35 to $40 to spend, we could buy 6 to 7 pounds of chicken. And that 6 to 7 pounds of chicken is going to give you 24 to 28 servings, or 4-ounce portions. So you go to the grocery store, boom, there's your budget. In your head, you could be picking up your chicken and just looking, it's, $5 whatever a pound. All right, it's more expensive today, it's cheaper today, I'll get less pounds or more pounds. So there's protein. From there, let's go to carbohydrates. And if we keep the math simple, let's say we spent, round up taxes, spent $40 on protein, that means we have $60 left between carbohydrates and fat. I'm not going to spend $60 on carbohydrates. I don't recommend that you do either. So let's say you're going to spend $30 on carbohydrates. All right. And these are going to be your fruits, your veggies, and also some of your processed carbs like bread and such. So if we just list some stuff out, some bread, some tacos, some rice, some sweet potatoes, and then I'm just going to put vegetables in a column and fruits in a column. Bread is anywhere from $2 to $3 a loaf, and tacos, you can get them for under $2 for a thing of tacos. A bag of rice is like $1, and it can give you tons of servings. Sweet potatoes, again, I spent about $3, let's say $3.50 on, I bought 6, but we'll say 5 sweet potatoes. And then if we do some quick math here, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's about $10. We have $20 left. So we'll just keep it simple here and say $10 in vegetables and $10 in fruits. So if you were to get frozen vegetables, sometimes they have them where it's 3 for $1 of frozen bags. Or if you get the more expensive kind, they can be $2 to $3 a bag. And a bag, depending on who you are, could be multiple servings. So in this instance, I would say with $10 worth of vegetables, you could probably get 3 to 4 bags, which will yield you about 6 to 8 servings. So there's enough for having at least 1 serving of vegetables a day if you're buying for the week. When I grocery shop, I tend to go more than once in a week because vegetables and things go bad, but just for this example. And then fruits, they're a little bit harder, but a pound of apples is anywhere from $1.50 to $2 a pound. And then you can have your 2 for $3 on your berries and such, but you could probably get 5 to 6 different types of fruits, and the serving size would probably be similar. So you'll probably have 6 to 8 servings of fruits. And all of this is going to be within your $30 range. So 10, 20, about 30, there's my carbohydrates. Now we'll go to fats. The fats, I'll make them blue. All right, here we go, fats. Cheese, anywhere from, well, not 1, that's pretty cheap, $2 to $3 for a thing of cheese. And your sour creams could be $2. I didn't write what it was, sorry. Sour creams. Avocados, those can be more expensive, or it can be 96 cents for 1, or it can be 2 for $3. So ignore that, sorry. So I'll say for the avocados, let's go $3 for 2, and that could be split up into 4 different meals. Let's see, what other fats do we have here? Oh yeah, nuts like almonds and things. Those are more expensive, so those could be $6 for a pack of almonds, and then maybe some peanut butter. Who doesn't love peanut butter or almond butter? And for that, you're probably looking at $3 to $6. So for your fats, we're gonna have 6, 12, 15, 18, just around $20. So in general, I doubt that anyone budgets to the exact dollar. I can spend $100 and no less, or no more. You probably have within $10, give or take. This would be a grocery list and a budget for $100 a week groceries. giving you about tons of servings of protein. And I would obviously get other things. I would not just get chicken, just keeping it simple for math. Lots of options for carbohydrates, and then quite a few options here for fats. So with everything I talked about earlier, showing how cheap it can be to actually shop well, this is a way for you to break it down and think about it before you go into the store of how much you actually need. Again, this is based on my first video explaining to you the step-by-step process of creating a grocery list and setting your week up.